This is the Year 7 Sound Reverse the Classroom, right? Which means that the information I'm going to give you in this video is information that's going to come up in your unit when it gets taught, right? And so what you need to do is then you need to think about and sort of study the work that I give you, so when you taught it in class, it's a lot easier for yourself. Now, this is the snaky diagram that kind of goes with it, the plan. We have longitudinal wave, we talk about speed of sound, we talk about hearing, and then we've got review and test. Okay, it's not a huge unit. Now, firstly, the sound wave. What we talked about in light is we talked about it as a transverse wave, and a transverse wave looks like that. A longitudinal wave is different in the fact that instead of the oscillations going up and down, what happens is the oscillations go backwards and forwards like that. So what they're doing is they go backwards and forwards. And if there's then a moving diagram, what you could do is you could look at one individual little particle like that, and you could see that it goes that way and then it goes that way. And that's when we call oscillations, or the vibrations, are parallel to the direction of movement. That is the direction of movement. Okay, so they're sound waves. Examples: sound is an example of a mechanical wave, so that's where the actual physical process of particles moving. In air, the speed is 340 meters per second, so you could write it as 340 meters per second. Speed of sound in water is 1,500. Speed of sound in steel is 6,000. So it's pretty much to do with how far apart the particles are. The closer the particles are together, the faster sound will travel. This is now a method of calculating the speed of sound in air. Now there's numerous ways in which you can do this, right? Now the one I've actually got on the board here, on the screen here, probably isn't the best way, right? But it is a method. Speed equals distance divided by time. Speed is in meters per second, distance in meters, time in seconds. Now the principle behind this is very, very crude, right? And there's way better ways of doing it. The distance is 200 meters. So even though I shouldn't do it, I should write out the whole thing. I'm going to write down 200 there on top of the equation, which is the distance. Then the idea then is this guy on this right hand side here slams those blocks of wood together. This person starts the stop clock when they see it, because light travels a huge amount faster, and when he hears it, he then stops the stop clock. And let's say that takes 1 second. What you then do is you use your distance divided by the time it took, which would then give you whatever it is. And for that, it would be 200 meters per second. Now, like I said, it's very crude, right? And if you just Google, right, ways of calculating the speed of sound, then what you'll do is you'll find other methods, possibly better methods. Frequencies. All sorts of animals have different frequencies. We've got the bat here, who has got a frequency of hearing of 1000 to 1200 hertz, which is that there. And they can also make the sort of maroony coloured box. And what you can do is you can look at these here and you can see which one has got the broadest range of hearing. And it looks to me like dolphins can hear from 150 to 150,000, which is higher than anybody else or any other animal, and it's not far off the lowest ones. And it looks like elephants can hear lower than humans with a 5. We're 20 to 20,000. So our hearing is actually pretty poor in comparison to a lot of other animals. Structure of the ear. So what we've got is the outside of the ear is your pinna, okay, that's the flappy bit on the outside. Sound comes from this direction here, it comes as a longitudinal wave, so you can draw it as lines coming in. It goes down the ear canal, and the first thing it then hits is the eardrum. Once it's hit the eardrum, it makes these 3 bones here, right, I'm not quite sure what colour to do them in, it makes these 3 bones that are called the hammer, anvil and stirrup. They kind of knock onto each other. Those sounds are then passed into something called the cochlea, and the cochlea is that bit there that looks like a snail shell, and that then detects the different levels of sound, the different pitch of the sound. It then converts it into a nerve impulse, which goes off to the brain, down the auditory nerve. Now, even though this isn't labelled, you've got three funny little structures there, right? They are the semicircular canals, and what they do is they control the balance within your ear or within your body. Now, these are then the 5 questions. Question number 1 is describe the oscillations on a longitudinal wave, right? Quick statement. What is the speed of sound in air? A number and units. What are the names of the 3 bones in the ear? 3 words. Which animal can hear the highest frequency sounds? I've told you that. On a longitudinal wave, what is it called when you measure from a compression to a compression? Go back to the first slide and have a look where it goes from compression, which is where all the particles are squashed up, to the next part where all the particles are squashed up. Now, what you've got to do now is you've got to understand and you've got to remember all the information that I then talked about, particularly the structure of the ear and what a longitudinal wave actually is. Now, this is all to do with a wave topic, right? And next time you'll then do the wave topic, it will then probably be in year 11, right? But it has to kind of be embedded in your heads now.